E3 Media.
Well, prepare yourself, guys. Welcome to another episode of Talking Through the Media, your home for entertainment news and reviews by fans for fans. I am your host, Chris Fagan, and joining me, as always, is Joy. And I'm rapid firing right now because I have something in the oven cooking, and I need to make sure it doesn't burn. So we're going to run down the topics of the week. I'm going to go down them really, really fast as I try to make this a tight 30. I know I just jinxed it then at the later part of the show. We're going to talk about a main topic that is the entertainment news, the TMZ more stuff of the show. But first off, we're going to get into the rundown of headlines and things like that. At the very, very end, for We Got Your Mail, I've been promising to do a sit down and a read with you guys for the comments that have been coming in on our socials. So we've had a lot of things that you wanted to talk about and that you commented your questions and concerns lately. And I'm going to run down them all. Not on the rundown, I'm sorry. I'm going to talk about those on the We Got Your Mail portion. And I'll do that solo because we have some errands to run. As you know, we don't really do the show on a Sunday. Supposed to do it yesterday. Time got away from us. And that's just life. Now, such is life. Let's get into it real fast. Let's get right into the rundown. What is the first section of the rundown? The first topic to discuss?
Worst MCU projects ranked.
That was something that, yes, I wanted to talk about the worst MCU projects. I pulled up a tier, and I just realized that I did not go to the link of it, or I don't have the link pulled up. And if I can't find it super duper fast, I'm going to cancel that segment. I remember, and I'm trying to stall, I remember what I mostly had on the list, but to save time, I'll try to pull that up as we discuss other things. But I think if I can't right away, I'm going to skip to the next topic and just call it, because I thought I still had it up. I think looks like I deleted it. The link. Nope, it's not there. Nope, it's not there, and it's not there. If I can't pull it up, I'm gonna have to pull that up later, or this is not saved here anywhere. I don't mess with tier maker that much. So this is my bad. I messed that up. I just realized that I didn't save the template. Oh well. I've been wanting to do that lately too, but okay. You know, let me save some time. Here we go. I'll fix it in editing. I'll fix it later. Here we go. Choices were like Thor Ragnarok. What was it? Thor Ragnarok. It was Thor, Love and Thunder. There was the She-Hulk show, the Marvels, Captain Marvel, Inhumans, there's shows that, and the ranking was like, I liked it. I loved it. I liked it, but I won't watch it again. It ruined the MCU, and the last one was didn't watch it. So where would you put like those shows that I mentioned? Now, I know you guys probably have a bunch of others that definitely belong on that list, and I know I have them. I can't remember. The Iron Man 2 also was on that list, and so it's my fault. I blew it. I'll fix it in a little later, and I'll do that properly with you guys on social. But out of those that I mentioned, like, what was your thoughts on like She-Hulk?
I liked She-Hulk. I don't think I saw Inhumans.
So yeah, that would have gone on the didn't watch it category. See, and neither did I. I didn't watch it. And if you guys have a opinion about it, let us know how bad was it.
Captain Marvel, I liked Captain Marvel.
What about the Marvels? That was also one that was I put on that list.
Is that the movie?
The second one, the Captain Marvel with all three of them.
Yeah, I liked it.
So
I had a good time with that.
So things like, for what I did, and I'll do the for me. I said that the criticisms that and also the latest one, the Captain America Brave New World, I would have said that She-Hulk probably would have been better if the leader was the main bad guy, and that would have made more sense. They could have did everything that they tried to do for Captain America: Brave New World, and applied that to She-Hulk. The legal side of it, the president wanted to bring back the Avengers and things like that. That kind of, and then having a Red Hulk and whatnot that was brought in, that would have fit better into the plot of She-Hulk if they would have thought of that. But it is what it is. Like I said, I'll do a proper ranking. I got to pull the tier back up, and I'll make its own separate video, and I'll fix that later. So that's my bad that I didn't have that one fixed in here. But let us know your thoughts on it. If you got some suggestions on what to put on the list, send them to me right now. What's the next one? Was it
Anna Kendrick dodging Blake Lively question?
The Blake Lively situation got a little bit more interesting to me because the sequel to their first movie, Another Simple Plan is what it's called. And I was like, I can't believe they actually went forward with that. My theory is they already had it greenlit before, and Blake Lively went down in the favorability. I don't know how to call it, and her popularity started to suffer a little bit. I don't have the. Here it is. Let's see if I can pull it up again. Again, I was going so fast trying to get this stuff, done, that I don't have the link. Do I? Yes, I do. So here's let me see if I can put it in the right, here we go, in the right spot. It's not going to be there. It's not going to be there. Hope the sound isn't going off. Do me a favor. There we go. See if I can pull it up. All right, here we go. And I hope you guys wasn't hearing any feedback on it, because I couldn't hear if the sound was going off.
Talking about you all day.
Oh my God!
Get it in selfie mode. Be prepared.
Can I get a photo?
Of course.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so beautiful. Oh, it's video and it's facing the wrong way.
It wasn't this one necessarily.
Anna, what does it mean to be working with Blake again?
Talking about you all day.
Okay, yeah, right there.
Get it in selfie mode. Be
And
prepared.
she immediately ran off. Okay, so I'll pause it right there. So that was one of the situations where she just totally took off. Oh, that's it. Going to get ahead of everything. Every conversation that was coming up to her on the press tour for their movie is her running away. What do you think? Any thoughts of Anna Kendrick trying to dodge Blake Lively?
I don't blame her, because all you're really trying to do, whether it's good or bad, trap her into saying something so that it can be used
Against her in the court of law.
in a negative way. Oh, she's still friends with her. Oh, she supports her, or the opposite, whatever side you're on.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would ignore it too and be like, that's not what I'm here for.
Yeah, and
It's not what I'm here for.
And she's handling it like a pro too. I mean, she's out there. One time it was another clip. I don't have time to play it right now, but she was asked directly about it, and she was like, "Oh, what happened?" Didn't know. She just told
Like,
her.
I've been busy with movies.
Been busy. I've been busy. Don't worry about it. No, yeah, nothing happened. But then there's the rumors that their friendship is deteriorating. Who knows? We're gonna hear whatever we're gonna hear. Let us know what you guys think. What's the next thing coming up?
The Pitt.
The Pitt. Okay, so I didn't watch this show. Okay, I don't know the Pitt. Okay, so I'll give it to you. I'll pass it to you. You can look them in the eyes and tell them what is the Pitt.
Chris is not into medical type shows. He watches Grey's Anatomy too.
So I can get some basically.
But I love the Pitt. I am in love with the Pitt. It is probably one of the only shows that has medical shows that has come out that has been pretty real, pretty true.
This is coming from a person who knows the medical field.
Has kept it as real as possible with with following procedures and names and not shocking a systole. All the stuff that a lot of us would be watching going, no, that's not how that works.
Right.
And they've kept it really well. I mean, I've seen some behind the scenes where they put them through the whole cast through a very intense, basically medical school for like several weeks, where they were doctors were teaching them how to do all sorts of things. So it's pretty realistic. I mean, obviously, because it's drama, there's still stuff that everyone's going to be like, well, I mean, as a nurse, yeah, there's still a lot of stuff that as a nurse, we're like, the docs don't do that. We do that. RT people watching have been like, where are we at? We're there. We're not being shown. But for the most part, it's doing a really, really good job. I was a huge fan of ER, so love to see that Noah Wiley's back. Most of us that watch are like, I think he's a doctor. He's just pretending that he's not in real life.
Right. But then but overall, is the show's not done yet?
No,
right now, I think it's at one.
This is a weekly show. It comes out each week on Thursdays.
And I think there's one episode left.
No, we have several left.
Oh, okay. But so we're in the middle. This isn't a full review.
This show is in the style of like 24. So it's one shift, and each episode is the next hour in the shift they're working. So that's how this show plays out.
Okay, all right. So I'm kind of
hour by hour.
So a little premature in the
and because it's not a show that drops everything. It's a week. It comes out weekly. We're about halfway done.
But overall, what do you think so far?
Overall, I give it, I don't know, 2 thumbs up.
Which is why
5 stars. I don't know. I mean, and this is not, if you're not into medical, then you won't like this, because this is not a Grey's Anatomy. This is not a love and kissing and hiding in closets. No, this is a medical drama show.
Okay, there you go. High praise for it. And real quick, your what will be your top 5? Like where would you rank? I think these are the top 5 that you gave me out of ER. So what would you rank it? A number of like.
I'm putting the Pit up there now. I know it's early on, but ER, of course, I can still go back and watch that. That's a classic.
I mean, what is it? I mean, are we starting at 5? Are we starting at 1? What do you?
I don't know that I put them in an order.
We're just okay. Well, then just shout out your what's in this top 5.
ER, Call the Midwife, which is also very.
That's about the BBC. We know you.
Yeah. Yes. It's started back in like the 50s, 60s. I think we're up into the 60s. But anyways, it's very realistic as well. I mean, Grey's Anatomy, yes, that one is, it's pretty far-fetched sometimes, but love the drama, and it's been around for forever. And then, of course, the Pit, and then this one was a real cameras following real people around, and it was called Trauma Life in the ER. It was on TLC, and each week there was about an hour long that took place in different major cities where they were in the ER with camera crews, and following stuff as it happened. And I really enjoyed that show. It didn't come on. It hadn't been on in a very long time, but it was a great show.
All right. Well, that's your top 5 medical shows that you're watching. That's coming from a person, like I said, in the field herself. So she knows what she's talking about. If she says it's good, it must be great. Then there was another review, something else that we saw while we do the rundown, a quick review. And I'm going to let you start on it because I think I smell that my pizza's ready. So I need to go and fix that. So I'm going to let you start this off. Me and Joy, we saw the movie A Real Pain. And I'm trying to watch most of the Oscar winners and nominations. So we saw this one. I'll pass it off to you and let you start off and get your thoughts on it first. And then I'll come right back and get my thoughts. Go for it.
So yeah, we watched A Real Pain after, of course, all the Oscars, but still, better late than never. I liked the movie. I guess I thought maybe there was more comedy in it, and there is some, but it's really, to me, much more of a heavy movie. Almost depressing a little bit, but the acting is phenomenal. I mean, Kieran Culkin there's a reason why he won. He's great. And Jesse Eisenberg is also great.
I keep wanting to say Mark Zuckerberg every time, but yeah.
But to me, it was a heavy movie, which is not necessarily my style. I prefer comedies or action, but the acting was phenomenal.
I can see why Culkin got
Yeah.
the nomination and won, and has officially solidified himself as the superior Culkin, because what he brought to the table was amazing. Jesse Eisenberg wrote a real good script. I'm hoping little by little. I mean, he's so talented. He's always, like I said, I even joked just a second ago about how I always see Mark Zuckerberg every time I see him. But like I said, it was heavy. It's about two cousins going back to the old country where their family is from. I think their deceased grandmother passed on, and they wanted to see where she grew up. But the dynamic between the two, Eisenberg being I guess what they were quote unquote the straight character, where he's put together, uptight, put together, and things like that. Culkin being the wild
follow
card.
all the rules,
Mhm.
has a good job in the family.
It's like the odd couple.
Yeah, and then you got Kieran Culkin, who's the screw up.
But then you realize so much of what's going on with Kieran Culkin and why he's so messed up. So it's like you kind of give it a pass, but then it went back and forth. You understood him, you felt sorry for him, and then he just screwed it up again. And then at the end, you still felt for him. It was a way they did it. It was like I said, a master class.
I think because probably a lot of people could relate. They could watch that and go, "Oh yeah, that's my brother,
everybody
cousin,
got a
sister,
like that.
aunt, somebody in their family." Like, "Oh yeah, I know all about that."
Kevin Davis in the chat from probably saying what a lot of people said. The acting was good, but the film was just okay. I'm gonna get that. The overall maybe it was just okay. It was just a typical movie. I mean, it's not like something I was gonna
anything spectacular necessarily.
Yeah.
And again, I think I expected more comedy, which that was just in my head, thinking there would be some more funny to it.
Yeah,
but I guess dark comedy a little bit. It was a heavy movie.
heavy topic. When you broke down what was really going on, because if it was just about a screw up cousin and his uptight cousin, this could have been a real good comedy. But then when you started really breaking down why he was acting the way he was, it's like, oh man, I don't know. It just, like I said, so I can understand that. Good movie, good acting, just an okay movie. But those are our thoughts. Let us know what you guys thought about these nominated films. Are you going to go check them out? I'm going to try to see as much as I want to watch Honora next. I want to see it. So, but I do recommend you take a look at it because Culkin did an outstanding job. So let's move on to real quick. What's the next topic
Call Her Daddy.
Call Her Daddy. Okay. This is not okay. So I had an interesting conversation at work the other day, where the topic of Monica Lewinsky came up. And it was because Monica Lewinsky was recently on the Call Her Daddy podcast discussing her life. And the question my friend asked me, my coworker, he was like, do you think Monica Lewinsky was a victim? That was the ultimate question. I thought about, because I didn't have to think about it too long, but what I did was I broke down the question in my head. I remembered what people were actually saying and thinking what was going on back in the day, in the 90s and the early 2000s. No, people didn't think she was a victim. They thought that, and then a lot of people, especially the people who supported Bill Clinton at the time, was like, this is just a situation about a guy lying about his wife because he was just trying not to get caught, cheating and whatnot. Not a big deal. And then Monica Lewinsky for years became the butt of the joke, and she was the homewrecker. She was the this and that. But then later on, especially nowadays where social media has lent a lot of voices to people, and people are able to get their sides of the stories out a lot faster and better, a lot of empathy has been growing in society. Cancel culture, things like that have come up. If social media would have existed the way it existed back then, Bill Clinton probably would have successfully gotten impeached. And then I thought about, so I answered the question. I'll let you guys answer however you feel about it, whether you're still thinking the way we thought back then, if you were around at that time, or whether you see it through today's lens. I would agree. Yeah, she was. Did I think she was a victim then? No, because I was a part of that. That was the way of most of the way of thinking. This is not a big deal situation. But then you find out, dude, she was a 22-year-old young lady her brain wasn't even fully really developed yet. And that's the most, like, we always understand what's going on with bosses and they take advantage of their employees. Hell, and what was it called? That Demi Moore movie with Michael Keaton, that Indecent Proposal, something like that. She was the one with the power and he was the employee and stuff like that. So just take the whole man woman thing out of it and think about it in a sense of power. The most powerful man on the planet, literally, not even a joke. And she's just like an intern or this or that, and the other. So you can say, yeah, she's an adult. Yeah, she knew what she was doing. This, that, and the other. And to an extent, yeah, I agree. But Bill Clinton was known for the things that, known for like stepping out on his wife and playing around when he was a governor. And being the president of the United States, he knew more than she knew that he could, if the really hit the fan, he knew that he would be okay more than her.
And then obviously this TV show came out way after all this happened, but like things like TV show like Scandal, we make it sound like a rainbow and roses, sexy, good, fun time type. Yeah, portray it that way, where people would be like, "Oh yeah, I would have done that too," like because they are seeing it in those rose glasses rather than real life, not seeing like there's consequences. Yeah, like you don't think about that stuff. Because I don't think her life should have been ruined for something. Exactly. Especially after the fact. And then before we move on to the last thing for you, because I know you got to go real quick. One of the things I thought about just a second ago was it's funny how people can understand what happened with Marilyn Monroe and be like, yeah, that's sad. They had her, they got rid of her because of what with the president and all that stuff at the time. That was like what 30 years before Clinton, but then somehow the young girl in this situation is all like, why? Because she wasn't as known and as popular as Marilyn Monroe. It's funny how people understood the scandal behind it, and they were like, yeah, she was like, they understood her being a victim more than Monica. It was kind of weird, but nobody cared. Nobody really thought of it that much. But now when the question came up to me, I paused. I was like, yeah, she was. I understand people feeling like she wasn't and whatnot, and then coming around later. But 100%, if you only break it down to would I want any of our daughters being in that situation with that man like that? That dude was like 50-something years old and all that, and that much power? Heck no. You have to. So yeah, she was a victim again. Technically, our Scandal show, she was a fixer. Yeah. I'm sure there were people behind the scenes that were ensuring to make sure she looked bad. That's 100%. That's how. It's called Hillary Clinton. She was one of the biggest voices against her. Just anything, articles coming out show everything was made to. Yeah, they call the presidency the bully pulpit or something. Versus if she had people on the opposite side going, no, let's paint that other picture. And it's funny. It's funny how after social media came up is when that let's paint the other picture thing came. I'm saying if social media existed the way it exists today back then, he probably would have been in way more trouble. That's just my opinion. Let's know what you guys think about that. The question was, it just paused me for a second. So it was like, was she a victim? Like, yeah. So that's it. 100%. Yes, she was. She didn't have the power. She didn't. She was. Yeah. Even if she 100% wanted, quote unquote, wanted to do it, she still never had a chance because the second when it hit the fan, Bill was like, "What did he say? It depends on what your definition of is." Man, just that response alone fried my brain. Nobody has a chance against a cat like that. That dude. Is it the position that you did something, whatever, with that young lady? Well, it depends on what your definition of is. Like, what? She was the victim. Let us know what you guys think. Then we'll talk about it later on social. All right. Real fast before we're heading to the 30-minute mark, and I'll save the last of the 30 minutes for this, and I'm going to cut the We Got Your Mail and make that its own separate thing. I'll still stream it here live, but then I'll cut it out of the show for a separate video. Real fast, the last thing that come up was the Harry Potter news, that official. So
it's been official that the Harry Potter casting of Snape and other actors came up. Can you mind? Do you have the information? Did I thought I wrote it out here, but it doesn't seem to be here anymore. I had some things written out. Let me. If it's not there, then I'll find it elsewhere. Yeah, it's not. It's not on there. Probably on because I cut and paste it. But you know what? I'll pull it up real fast. Right here. It was me. So the situation, while I'm trying to stall for time. So the situation, there it is. So the situation that came up was the news that the there's been more casting announcements for the upcoming Harry Potter series, and there, and here it is. I'll pull it up right here. So okay, there we go. Finally, sorry about that. I'm scrambling. From CBR.com, Harry Potter reboot series reportedly finds its new Snape and McGonagall. Is that how you say her name? McGonagall. And so I pulled up some blurbs or whatever they call block something. I forgot the word for it. I pulled out from this article because we don't have time to go through the whole article. But it was. Let's see if I can find it here. Here we go. The two high-profile roles in the Harry Potter reboot series has reportedly been cast following the recent confirmation that John Lithgow will play Professor Dumbledore. HBO is now close to finalizing deals for the actors who will play Professor Minerva McGonagall and Professor Snape. According to Deadline, Janet McTeer is in negotiations to play Professor McGonagall. And while Pape Esidu is closing his deal to portray Snape. If cast, they will respectfully succeed Maggie Smith and Alan Rickman as the fan favorite characters, who were portrayed by the late actors in all 8 Harry Potter movies. HBO declined to comment on the reported casting, slating, "We appreciate that such a high-profile series will draw a lot of rumors and speculations as we make our way through pre-production. We will only confirm details as we finalize deals." That came out. That was from CBR.com. So from what I can, so basically it was leaked to feed the Everything Is Woke crowd that he was in the cast in the short talks to play on the short list, or was officially cast to play Snape, that actor. And everybody lost their jokers, and everybody loses their mind. But it's funny how they didn't confirm it. They flat out almost pretty much kind of denied it a little bit, and it was like, I don't know what you're talking about. No, what black guy? He's not playing that character. And then it turns out, yeah, it was true all along. It feels to me like they were trying to protect him like the way Warner Brothers wanted to protect Ben Affleck when he was going to be announced as Batman, because they knew what the backlash was going to be. So they denied it at first, but it seems like that leak was true. Before you go real fast, what were your thoughts on it about the you don't follow the source material crowd?
I'm so tired of hearing. If the man is a great actor, then let him act.
I mean,
let him do his thing.
They're like, no,
because the big thing should be the product that comes out of this. Is it going to be a great movie?
But Snape, if
it's going to be a great movie, then that should be the concern.
But respect the source, and this is why the respect the source material crybabies are never ever, because it's always funny to me how it's always respect the source material unless it's another black person. But Captain America, no, I don't. Then I don't care what the source material is. I don't want Sam to be Captain America. I don't care what the source material is. I don't want Ironheart, that little black girl, to be. It's like I'm like, y'all don't respect the source material when the source material does. It's not everyone. I understand some people. It's the constant crybabies that are always, they pick and choose when they want to respect the source material. So it's like, who cares? Just look. J.K. is it Simmons? That's her name.
J.K. Rowling.
Rowling. J.K. Rowling doesn't have any say so over this. Warner Brother bought it. They own it. It's theirs. They can do what they want with it. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. They're in charge of casting, not her. And it's not. And I agree with the whole thing when people say it's about agendas. Yeah, it is about agendas. It's about continuing that agenda that was in place for 100 years to purposely keep certain people out. So now who cares? I'm like, and again, and I'll say it. I've said it a million times, and I'll say it again. The tired ass argument about, well, then I'll get Ryan Gosling to play Black Panther. Like, okay, buy the rights to get a couple $1 billion, buy the rights to Marvel, and then make your have at it, Hoss. Is what I'll say. But you don't have power. You don't have the money. But you have the freedom to express your anger or frustration as many as you want. But before I let you go, any final thoughts on will you be watching the Harry Potter series?
I didn't watch. I mean, I think I saw the first one or two this month. Son was into it at the time.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I'm
no overall what's it called? Motivation to watch it. I think I'll give it a shot. I will agree that the fantasy casting of Snape with what's his name from Star Wars, The Force Awakens, what's that guy who played the main villain who played Ben Skywalker? What's his name? What's that guy's name? That was who they wanted to play Snape. That character, that teacher, that actor that died.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
But it's like that's just lazy. I mean, yeah, he's a great actor. Yeah. But the reason why it's been fantasy cast is because fantasy casters always just get another actor that looks identical to the. It never even matters if it's a great actor or not. They want. I mean, the guy who played Tupac in the latest Tupac movie proved that he looked exactly like Tupac. But that movie sucked. As hell, he didn't portray Tupac as well as other. He didn't portray Tupac as well as what's his name who plays Sam Wilson. What's that actor's name? Who plays Captain America now? Damn, I forgot. I mean, he played Tupac as well. He did a better job than the dude that looks like identical to Tupac. So it's like, I don't know. And I'll holler at you guys in the chat about these as well. But babe, let us know what you guys think about this latest story that came in from comicbookreaders.com. Are you okay with the woke fantasy woke casting by Warner Brothers? Are you normal and you're like, it's fine, I don't care? Or are you like what the Joker said, everybody loses their mind? Are you on that side of it? You guys already can tell what side we're on. We don't care. It's like, let Ryan Gosling play Black Panther. Like, okay, whatever, idiot. Let us know what you guys think, because your opinion is valuable, unless it's opposite of mine, because I'm always right. I'm just missing. All right, babe. I appreciate you joining me. Let them know where they can find you online and all that good stuff.
My TikTok is Viola Fagan, and my Instagram is Scrubhats and More by Joy.
All righty. And I will continue on with the remainder part of the show. This is going to be the We Got Your Mail portion of the show. I'm going to go through our socials and read your guys' comments on it. But I'll start off with what you guys are saying in the chat right now. I can't pop them up, so I'm going to read them real fast. Kevin Davis continues on with, people will rewatch Harry Potter reboot on HBO. Far as race swap Far as race swap character people isn't going to complain or reject this because this Warner Brothers is not Disney producing this TV show. Because I get it. Because it's so easy, yeah. Because the fun thing, it's almost like making fun of Nickelback, right? It's like it's so easy to just everything that Disney does is this blah 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 blah. Yeah, I get it. I see what you're saying on that. Kevin also continues with Marvel Studios is going to be fine. Yeah. He backdoors it with, and Marvel is going to be fine. Exactly. Brianna Jasmine, and you know what? Shout out to Kevin Davis and Brianna Jasmine. I'm going to give you guys a shout out, because you guys have always helped us out and supported us in the chat, and I really do appreciate you guys. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna make sure a slow crawl in the future to give a shout out to longtime subscribers and engagers like that. So I'll be on the lookout for that. I gotta come up with something to shout you guys out a little bit more. But Brianna Jasmine says, I can't deal with people that speak word salad. Like me, yeah, I'm a word salad guy. I sometimes I ramble and it don't make sense. But yeah, I can't stand it either. But the everything is woke crowd. I mean, it's like, all right, I get it. It's going to give you some engagement online, and these people, they fake it till they become it. So it's their whole personality. Oh my God, it's a girl. Oh my God, it's a black guy. Oh my God, it's a Hispanic guy. Oh my God, that guy kissed another guy. They're forcing it on us. Like, dude, like, you don't know what that word means. Forcing it? Like you don't have to kiss a guy. If you don't want to, if you're a guy, you don't have to do that. Or it's like, oh my God, I saw the Marvels. Oh, Marvels. I mean, like, it doesn't work that way. What was that dude's name? That documentary guy. He asked the person, hey, you don't like that type of marriage? Okay, well then don't get married like that. Then you're still a free person, like whatever. All right, let's dive into that. There was a word salad right there. Let's dive into the We Got Your Mail portion of it. I'm gonna get on TikTok, and it might make some noise. I apologize if it does. I'm gonna try to find.
The only reason
Here we go.
I didn't own a pair.
There we go. This is those guys that I'm gonna do a collab with soon. Let me hit the heart. Let me see if I can find it. Where is it? There it is. I want to start off with the video that got a lot of views lately
in the black community.
Here we go. Let me see if I can pull it up. There we go. There's my big ugly face right there. Let me clean it up here on. There we go. So this is me on TikTok, and I was talking about fix it here. There we go. And I was talking about the Maitland Ward thing. And here's what I had to say, just so you guys get a little recap of it.
Including myself, always.
That's it.
This is why many people in the black community, including myself, always cut for Topanga. Right here in this interview, she stood on business. Danielle thought she was going to get on this podcast and just talk her stuff and try to make her look bad. But no, this woman came with receipts and was not about to play. I knew that she was full of it the second she said something like, oh, well, you never ever talked to me. And then she immediately changed it to, well, not really. Girl, which is it?
All right, so I won't play the whole thing, but yeah, that's basically about the whole the podcast. I meant to do this that day that I first brought it up on the show, and it was like a main topic thing, but I didn't have time then, and then I'm going over on this one because I wanted to be a man of my word and give a shout out to the people on the comment section who took the time to really voice their opinion. Starting off with Key. And I'll make sure to, I got to make clips of this stuff because I'm going to, and what I'm also going to do is I'm going to take clips from what we're showing you right now, and I'm going to respond to everybody I give a shout out to. I'll make sure to make a clip of it and shout you out directly on the TikTok, on our Talking to the Media's TikTok page. So if you engage with us on TikTok, I'm going to do better with including it on the We Got Your Mail portion of the show, especially when it gets a lot of engagement like this. All right. Key says, don't forget Danielle was race, the R word. Well, I'll say it. Racist to Trina McGee. So don't applaud her too much. And I had to remember that. I forgot. I got so caught up with the nostalgia, and I said that in another video. I said, yeah. When is this me responding? I said Danielle when I meant to say Maitland. Okay. Now I believe I responded to that one, and I was like, yeah, I totally forgot about that whole backlash with Maitland and not Maitland, with Danielle and Fischel and Trina McGee, because I got back into my Topanga mode. I was like, because when I was coming up, I had she was one of the young ladies that I had a crush on, so and I was like, damn, I forgot about that. But then I did my research. I looked it up, and I found out that they also They privately handled it the way she wanted to handle whatever was going on between her and Maitland Ward. She said it right there. I wanted to call you directly and handle it, but you wanted to air it out on the podcast. So here we go. But Trina and her, they handled it like adults. Moving on. Name is just hello. It says, y'all Trina McGee has commented and she stands with Danielle. Goodness, just Google it. Yeah, there you go. Right there. Let's see. Keith 596 says black folks know Topanga is a racist, so I don't know what you're talking about. And I responded to him on that, so I was all ready. Let's see. Ripe Undead 09. The thing about the Trina situation or the racism part is that they had spoken privately and on the pod. These three were willing and open to accept that flaw and work on it a very public way. Boom. There you go. Let's see. So we've already so if I've already commented on that same topic, then there probably won't be a video response directly, but I'll do my best. Let's see if there's something new going on here. Sherry Amor 85 says people gotta separate Topanga from Danielle. Do I? All right, let's find out why. Danielle will stand with Will and Ryder after defending Drake Bell's S.A. Be racist to Trina and Angela. Judge Maitland's sexuality, but she's Topanga, so it's okay. Dang. Yeah, okay. So like you said a whole bunch of things that I'm not caught up on. So I'm gonna be like one of those wishy-washy backpedalers and whatnot. If this is true, I don't know who Topanga is. I never heard of her. But if I learn more about it, then all of a sudden I can. Yeah. Well, we'll have to look into that. So dang. Okay, Sherry. That comes from Sherry Amore 85. Let's see. Something new. Tommy Sly says Maitland said she thinks Danielle was jealous of the attention she was receiving. To that I say, ask anyone in the world if they know Topanga, then ask them if they know Rachel. Case closed. Now, so that was something that I did mention on. It was like right off the bat, it was mostly sounding like, even though I didn't reach out to you, I'm mad that you're not reaching out to me. I'm like, that's not how a two-way street works. I'm like, you're happy when this one-way street is in effect, but this is a two-way street that you're complaining about. Like, get it? Which is it? So Tommy Sly, 100% on that. Moving down a little bit further. Let's see, Allison. Let's see if this doesn't mention the same thing. Allison, Virginia says, when Maitland first visited the set of Girl Meets World, she said Danielle was rude to her and she didn't know why. But then a few minutes later, she said Danielle was jealous over the attention Maitland was getting, which is, like I said, which is it? You cannot have your cake and eat it too. You can't say I'm mad at you because you didn't we weren't Facebook friends. Well, you weren't Facebook friends when you invited her to your wedding. So it's like I never had nothing bad to say about you, but yet you always seem to have something bad to say when TMZ is around. So it's like, make up your mind. Let's see if there's anything else if that I didn't cover before we move on that doesn't have the same stuff in it. Let's see. Duet Ranger says Maitland held her ground with Danielle with such grace. All Danielle did was throw around baseless accusations after baseless accusation. Danielle clearly brought on Maitland for views. From what I understood, it was Danielle it was Maitland who complained that she, even in that argument, she complained that she wasn't on the show sooner. She wasn't on the show like on the very first episode. How come, if you like me so much, why didn't you have me on in season 1 when you talked about season 1? And they had to explain to her, because you weren't on those episodes. You're complaining all day about trying to make this narrative. No, I'm sorry. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if Maitland has bots or she's paying for people to, or if you're a real Maitland Ward fan. But no, you're 100% wrong on that. Danielle clearly brought her on. She didn't have to bring her on at all. The show was fine without her. She brought her on, or requested to bring her on at the time that she did bring her on, because that was the time that they finally got to Maitland's first episode. The same premise of what's going on with the other TV show. What is it called? Talkville. It's the exact same premise. If you don't know about Talkville, it's the TV show that runs down the old episodes of the TV show Smallville. Michael Rosenbaum, Tom Welling have that podcast. Very popular, very good show. But yeah, the whole Maitland. Oh, here's the old thing about it. Oh, pull that back up. That was I thought I deleted it. There it is. But they usually don't ask guest host or guest to come on the show until that guest episode comes up. I mean, you don't want the guy who was the stand-in or the stunt double that was on episode 106. You don't want it when we're talking about, and he only worked on the 106th episode, and when we're on episode 3 and he wasn't even nowhere near there on set. What is he going to talk about? Well, I was going to be like, well, what do you think about this? How'd you do that? Well, I didn't do that because I wasn't there yet. That would be dumb. What do you think about what was going on set of Boy Meets World on episode 2? Maitland, I don't know. I wasn't there. Is going to be her only answer. So that doesn't make any sense. I mean, if you're just trying to only cut for Maitland just because, I get it, I understand, but it just doesn't make any sense. Because no, there couldn't have been no jealousy on that level, and she only brought her on for clicks or whatever. I mean, everybody gets on social media for clicks. Nobody people. I mean, there's no point. I mean, you might as well just talk to yourself in the mirror. You don't want one person to see it. If you put it out publicly, you intended for that. Anyway, moving on. But thanks. Let's see. Anybody new? Listen, Melissa and Janelle's comment was, listen, argue with somebody that I was friends with or a coworker, but then I see them in a straight talk and have questioning me. They lied to me. Okay, phrasing of that is, am I missing something? Is that a reply? That's the phrasing of that is kind of, I don't really get what you mean. I kind of do, but I don't. Sorry. Let's see. Filthy Donkey says, Danielle even said she didn't pay attention to her Facebook account. She only knew about the message because Will told her about it. That was about the whole graveyard thing. If you're not really following somebody on Facebook, yeah, you still get notifications when somebody hits you up. But if you overlook it, if you don't, or if you even if you saw it and you didn't click on it, it's the highlighted fresh notification is still there. But if you're constantly getting more and more things happening to your page, and it's going to push those notifications down, you don't click it right away. Hell, she might be right. It could. What she probably meant by the graveyard is she didn't even see it in the first couple of prompts, because maybe, especially when being I'm assuming being any kind of celebrity, whether you're B, C, or whatever list you want to be on, I'm sure your social media is going to get hit more than the average bear. Maybe you don't have 1 million followers. Maybe you don't, but you might have enough engagement ability to where your notification, she probably never even saw the notification. Because if it happened in the middle of the night and then 20,000 other people, or maybe 2,000, maybe 220 people then did something and then pushed their notifications down, she would never have seen it. So is it likely that she never saw the notification? It's very likely. Very likely. Those notifications don't last long, depending on what phone she had. Heck, she could have had a flip phone for all we know. I mean, that was probably sent at a time when you had to log on to Facebook on your laptop. Those notifications are gone. Especially not really paying attention, because it could be your stalker again. You don't know. You're going to ignore it. So yeah, I give her the benefit of the doubt. There's a lot of notifications that people are going to miss. Let's see. Tiana _19 something says, exactly. Maitland lying about them hating Ben and Michael, then corrected her with Ben. I don't get why she thinks they don't write to talk about their experiences with Michael before she was on Boy Meets World. Exactly. It was 100%. That was what she was saying to TMZ, which is what Danielle called her out on. You seem to have a lot to say about us knowing what, getting in our heads and saying what we thinking when TMZ's in the picture for some weird reason. Why are you telling TMZ, that we don't like this or that we hating on that or like that it's negative or whatever? No, it's not negative. And here's another thing I would have said, Maitland, isn't you getting on here talking about, well, you never invited me to this or you never read my Facebook post? That sounds a little negative. You sound a little butthurt because you don't know you're inferring that they did it on purpose, which give ultimately a reason why. You're probably still mad at me because we had that fight on set, blah, 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 back on Boy Meets World or something like that. Something. I mean, point to something. It's not negativity. Maybe the situation was a negative situation, but you bringing it up in the middle, in the middle of this interview in context isn't. Asked and answered. You want to know why? This is why. That's not being negative. It's just telling what happened. I mean, I might be telling what happened about something that happened that negatively did this or did that, but that doesn't mean I'm necessarily being negative. Fuck out of here. But that's what I'm saying. That's how I felt like Topanga was on this. Hold on, let me make sure that I'm not losing the plot on these comments, guys. If you're chiming in, let me know. Let me see. Topanga, Brianna Jasmine says, Topanga can do no wrong. Danielle, on the other hand, exactly. That's what a lot of people feel. Now, I don't know if what's the name in the comment section is right about some of those accusations. I don't know. There is some wrong that Topanga can do. We're gonna have to figure it out. What the heck did you do, Topanga? What happened? Let's see. Moving now. I've already answered questions like that. Ricardo Segara says it was definitely two sides that have their own version of the story, but let's not forget, Maitland is not the first to say things about the cast being cold. Trina has, Adam Scott, and a few others. There might be a reason why Ben Savage does not want to holler back at anybody, but it was odd that he just up and did it out of nowhere the way he did, especially around the time when I heard that he was running for Congress. So it just seemed a little odd, and I think that was about it. Let me run down the very last few where we got your mail here on this topic alone. Then I'll move on to anything else. I'll go into the graveyard to make sure I don't miss anything before somebody comes back on this show and be like, well, you unfollowed me on Facebook. I don't like that. Shut up. Oscar GZ 1877 says, the main issue is that this, and I believe the main issue is this, and I believe it. For 5 seasons, Topi was the center of attention. Season 6, Rachel comes in without having the to audition. She's tall, beautiful, and sexy. Topi was cute and in. Okay. I don't really get what you mean. Okay, but what do we mean? What do we mean? What are we talking about here? I mean, is we saying that you agree with the jealousy thing that Topanga was jealous? Are we talking about the character, or are we talking about Maitland and Danielle? What are we talking about here? Sumo F69 sums it up perfectly. This Facebook drama, who the cares? Like that, right? And I already answered that one, but I'll see. Super petty. Alexandra Alexis says it's super petty. Yeah, it was. I mean, but maybe in the end they hashed it out. She said, "Hey, even though we got into this fiery, argument on this thing because you asked for it, you're still invited back on the show." Now, I heard later that Maitland then went back to her old, TMZ. Look what happened this time, ways, and started, dishing it out again. But let's see if Topanga's Danielle's a woman of her word. Now it brings her back. All right, I heard you still talking shit. Didn't think you'd be back though, huh? But let's see. Zachary DeVore says, nah, neither side communicated effectively. Nobody came out looking good. I agree a little bit with that, but I feel like Topanga came out looking a little bit better than Maitland. The guys on the show came out looking good. because they for the most part stayed out of it. The second their volume went up, the guys were like, they did that exit stage left. They pulled. They were gone. Like, you know what? I think I hear the I hear the and then just jumped out. You didn't even finish the sentence. Just like I'm something's burning. I think I hear the alarm clock burning or something. I don't know. Yeah, that's what happens, man. They dipped out. That was funny. All right, so let me get into these archives and make sure that I didn't lose anything in these chats. Real quick, let's pull something up. Anything good? Anything off topic from Joe Mama?
For them both to go.
Superman. Let's see, Gene Hackman death. Joe Mama. She died in the bathroom, and he had all timers, and was just walking around his house until he inevitably passed away. I don't know. That's what I heard. This is about the fact that on the show, I think it was last week or the week before the full autopsy report came out about what happened with Gene Hackman, Joy on this show accurately predicted, because, you know, she's a nurse. She knows what she's talking about. She just read she looked at the clues. At first, she said that her immediate assumption was that her immediate thoughts was that, where is it at? She originally thought that the carbon monoxide thing. And then when it turns out it wasn't, when they ruled that out really fast, then she was like, well, it's possible that if he's suffering from this, and if she passed away based on something else or whatever, and she was his main caretaker, possibly that he just, starved to death or something like that, you know. And with the dog too, especially if because you're saying two dogs were still walking around, one was down, and she called it. She 100% called it before anybody said anything. She said probably because the dog was in the kennel and couldn't get. And I was like, well, the other two dogs probably had access to some type of food, trash can, water, toilet. Maybe lid was up, possibly, and was able to get some water and food and survive longer. But the dog inside the kennel, probably, and Joy 100%. Go back and watch that episode. That clip. I segmentized it too. She 100%. Besides, only thing she didn't predict was what Gene Hackman's wife officially passed away from. But all the other scenarios, the domino effects that played out afterwards, 100%. She 100% predicted it based on the evidence, based on the science and her knowledge and experience in the medical field. She 100% called it. So that was what that comment was, I guess, kind of about on that. Let's see, was there anything else that
This is why many people in the black community, including myself, always cut
one
for
more
Topanga.
before.
Right here.
Okay,
In this
we don't need this. I need one. Let's see, anything good? Anything else that me and Tabitha going back and forth in comment section. Let's see. Yep, she is famous enough. No, that's about the Topanga thing again. All right. Kathleen Kennedy. Oh yeah. All right, let me read this one out, then I'm gonna finish. Deadline says Kathleen Kennedy speaks out on her Lucas plans. She is not soon retiring. Ha! Fooled you. So yeah, she's not retiring. Only got a couple comments on this one. Lou Blanco 1976 says Kevin Feige has Marvel in a slump. Never one mention of him retiring. Here's what I got to say about that, because Kevin Feige, Marvel Studios is literally right now, in that short amount of time of existence, the most profitable studio in Hollywood history, to the point where at one point if you average out all the numbers of a box office, they were averaging 1 billion per movie. No, not every movie made 1 billion, but some of them made 2 billion. Some of them made 1.5. A lot of them did. You know what I'm saying? So when you average it out, it at one point for a while, it was, I think it was right a little bit after Black Panther, or maybe it was right, I don't know, I can't remember which movie it was. They were technically at 1 billion per movie. Now, of course, when the misses started happening, it's now below 1 billion per movie. gonna happen. And an Avengers movie kind of will always push them back up above that. That Spider-Man No Way Home definitely helped as well. So there is no comparison to what Kevin Feige has done as a studio head versus what Kathleen Kennedy has done as a studio head. Both of them as producers are outstanding. Their resumes speak volumes. You can't even really hate on Kathleen Kennedy as a producer because she has produced way more things. There's a reason why George Lucas picked her, because of her resume beforehand. And even within Star Wars, the success that she's had. I mean, you can say what you ever want to say, but Star Wars: The Force Awakens is still the largest domestic box office in Hollywood history. There's no way around it. You can't argue that. No other Steven Spielberg, Nolan, what's his name for the Avatar movies can claim that title. She has that title. She produced a movie that grossed the most money domestically out of any movie in existence. She has that title. I'm sorry. That's just a fact. So as a producer, yes. Does that make her a good studio head like Kevin Feige is? No. And Kevin Feige, even though he's talking about he's in a slump now, still averaging $1 billion per movie. It doesn't matter. I'm like slump. You're saying slump now. She started off, not really. She kind of started off slumping because because you got to look at it more than just box office stuff. It's also things like announcing a director for an upcoming project and then oops, that project's not happening anymore. That happened too many times from the beginning. That has only started happening with Kevin Feige recently, and only technically with Blade. That's not a good comparison right there. But I appreciate the comment either way it goes. All right. I'm gonna call it for the We Got Your Mail. I'm gonna only keep it to those TikToks, and I'm gonna move on from that. Thank you guys for helping me out with these comments here. And let me real quick before we go again, I'm gonna go shout out once again to Brianna Jasmine and Kevin Davids helping us out in the chat. I was being self-deprecating again. I'm like I run off at the mouth a lot. She was like, no, like President Clinton. That's what she was talking about. That word salad. Oh yeah, it depends on what your definition of is. Not guilty. The second he said, what did he say? I don't know, but I can't convict that. I don't know. I don't get it. It was weird. This dude, it was such a weird line that just blew everybody's mind. But yeah, that word salad, it did help him, did it? And she finishes off with Brianna Jasmine finishes off with I remember Joy. Yeah, she called it. Yeah, she 100% accurately called it. How Gene Hackman, she said it's just based on the evidence of what is coming out. Because so if you have to rule out, she said to me this morning. Now, because I asked her, I said, how did you figure it? I said, I understand you're a nurse, you've seen these things before, but how'd you do it? And she just said, well, she said I thought it was the carbon monoxide thing. So when they quickly ruled that out, there was only a few likely scenarios because everything else around it was so weird. You had 2 people who passed away around the same time. It's been like 9 or so many days. You also had pets involved. 1's gone, 2 survived. It just kind of matched up with certain things. Oh, and their age, the fact that he's in his 90s, that was the biggest clue. And she also said because she has family members who's also suffered from that condition as well. She said, A plus B equals C. Basically, she just ruled out. If you have to rule out carbon monoxide, which would have been one of the likeliest scenarios, okay. Well, then based on their age, what did she say? I'm assuming something got her first. Then he, not knowing, what to do, not remembering to take meds or not remembering to eat or things like that, or maybe not even able to even get out of bed without help, led to that. And then the fact that you have 3 pets supposedly in the house somehow, 2 can manage to survive, 1 doesn't. That leads to possible kennel. and she 100% knocked it out. It was exactly what the report said right afterwards. So I posted it that it was a 100%. It wasn't like a gloating thing. When I gloat, it was probably when Chris Pratt divorced his first wife, and I predicted it like 2 years before it happened. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I saw that coming. And that's a funny one. Go back to that one. But with Gene Hackman, it was just sad, man, how that all played out. So yeah, sometimes we predict things a little bit quicker than the average bear here, and we pat ourselves on the back. But for this one, it was a sad one. So rest in peace, Gene Hackman. My favorite role was him as Lex Luthor. I loved it, but he did a lot of great work. All right, guys, that's the end of it. I appreciate you guys' time. Make sure to get on to segmentizing this stuff. If you, like you said, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you want us to holler at us, go do so. Maybe we'll shout you out on the show for We Got Your Mail. If you want to help us out, donate their super chats whenever we're live, or if you want to donate to us on our the Streamlabs. Was it Streamlabs? What is it? I have it on. I have it here somewhere. I don't know. Maybe it'll pop up. I don't know. You can follow me at Chris W Fagan on all socials, or Chris Fagan at on X. Or you can follow me at T3 Media Studios. That's usually the fastest way. But it was at Streamlabs.com/tips/T3 Media Studios, I think is what it is, or something like that. Or super chats, and like you said, they're not obligated to. We appreciate it. Just the like button. I mean, don't even worry about the donation. Just hit the like button. If you're watching right now, hit that like button on our on all of our channel on the tube. I'll do it on the tube. I'm streaming on everything else, but I'm really talking about the tube. Hit the like button on that. It helps us out, and we appreciate you guys for socializing with us. But, before I go, let me make sure that I missed nothing else. Nope, I don't think I did. Till next time, guys. Peace. Thank you guys for watching our video. I really do appreciate it. Remember, you can support our show by becoming a member or a Patreon. So click the subscribe button. Don't forget to ring the bell for notifications so you'll never miss out on when we go live or post new content. Let's stay connected, grow this community together. Like, subscribe, comment, and let's keep talking.